pounding on Liam's flimsy apartment door was seismic, each blow a physical manifestation of the fury I knew was raging on the other side. When Liam, bless his loyal heart, swung it open, the tableau was exactly as I'd envisioned my father, Arthur Miller, his face a mask of apoplectic rage, his usually immaculate suit rumpled. Beside him, my sister Chloe, her expensive gown looking garish under the dim hallway light, her expression a venomous snarl. Victoria. Chloe shrieked, her voice a shrill desecration of the evening's supposed elegance. She practically vibrated with indignation. "You, this was you, wasn't it you, little snake? How could you do this to Dad, to us?" Arthur, his chest heaving, advanced. "Explain yourself," he boomed, the sound bouncing off the cramped walls. "What in God's name possessed you? Do you have any idea what you've done? The embarrassment, the cost, the humiliation." I rose slowly from the worn armchair, the only piece of furniture in Liam's living room that offered any real comfort. A strange, almost preternatural calm had settled over me, an eerie counterpoint to their hysteria. The girl they'd thrown out a week ago, the one who would have crumpled under their fury, was gone. In her place stood someone they didn't recognize, someone forged in the crucible of their betrayal. Consequences, Dad. My voice was steady, glacial, even though a tremor of remembered pain echoed deep inside. Are you perhaps talking about the consequences of being falsely accused, publicly shamed, and summarily expelled from my home and my life by the two people I should have been able to trust implicitly? I paused, letting the accusation hang in the air. Or are we discussing the consequences of my actions tonight? Because yes, the party is cancelled. I cancelled it. The declaration so baldly stated sucked the air from the room. Chloe gasped, her hand flying to her mouth. Arthur stared, momentarily speechless, the fury in his eyes warring with sheer disbelief. You wouldn't dare," he finally choked out. "Oh, I dared," I replied, the calmness now tinged with a steely edge. "Consider it my birthday gift to you, Dad." A rather pointed one, I admit, a reminder of this day. My gaze flickered to Chloe, whose face had gone from furious to faintly alarmed. And a lesson, perhaps, in what happens when you push someone too far, when you try to destroy them to cover your own indiscretions. To understand the icy resolve in my voice, the deliberate, meticulous dismantling of what should have been my father's proudest night, you have to understand the week that preceded it. You have to understand a lifetime spent in the shadow of the golden child, my sister Chloe, and under the often unseeing eye of my father Arthur. You need to know about the Miller family foundation, his pride and joy, and the ugly secret I unearthed within its hallowed accounts. More pressingly, you need to understand the brutal efficiency with which Chloe, sensing danger, framed me for a crime so heinous it shattered what little faith my father had left in me, leading to the slammed door, the packed suitcase, and the bitter words that became the catalyst for tonight's implosion. "And to think you were planning my 60th birthday! What a hypocrite!" That right there was the bitter last straw. And they were about to discover just how thoroughly that hypocrisy, so falsely attributed to me, could be turned back upon its true architects. The story of their betrayal and my subsequent meticulously planned revenge truly began not with a bang, but with the insidious whisper of Chloe's lies. The scent of old money and older grudges clung to the Miller household like the expensive, cloying perfume Chloe favoured. For as long as Victoria could remember, the dynamic had been starkly, painfully clear. Chloe, her older sister by 2 years, was the sun around which their father, Arthur Miller, orbited. Victoria was at best a distant moon, occasionally catching a sliver of reflected light, but more often shrouded in shadow. She recalled a specific incident from when she was 8 and Chloe 10. A priceless Lalique vase, one their mother had cherished before her passing, lay shattered on the marble floor of the foyer. Chloe, eyes wide and brimming with practiced tears, had pointed a trembling finger at her. Victoria was running, Daddy. She knocked it over. Victoria, who had been in her room reading, protested vehemently. No, I wasn't. I was upstairs.